Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another fun DIY video. We've got some crazy storms happening outside, but I'm trying to finish up the video, so hopefully, it's not too awful loud out there. But anyways, we have some fun Valentine's DIY decor items for those of you who maybe don't normally decorate for Valentine's Day. I have a few things with some pops of color, which of course you could switch out if you didn't want to do the color. But these things I think could kind of also just be incorporated in your everyday decor as well, with just a little touch of love mixed in. So let's get started with today's DIYs. For this first DIY, I have this frame from the Dollar Tree. I have already previously painted it. It's got a little wood peg to kind of work as the stand. I've already taken out the center and I previously painted it, but it comes in a natural, like unfinished wood. And so I'm just gonna give this a couple coats of white paint. I need to restock my Waverly chalk paint. So this did take a couple coats to cover up that bit of brown with the acrylic paint, but we're gonna just give this a couple of coats. I'd love it if you let me know down in the comments below, do you normally decorate for Valentine's Day? I don't do a ton of decor for Valentine's Day. Sometimes I'll do a tiered tray, or I'll just mix in a few more hearts, so to speak. Well, not so to speak, they're hearts. But I don't really feel like it's just like a Valentine's thing. Like, I will still use the word thankful or blessed, even when it's not Thanksgiving time, because I just think it's nice. So, but yeah, let me know. Do you normally decorate for Valentine's Day? I don't do a lot of it, but I do think the decor is fun. And so I do have a good time making the DIYs, even though I don't do a ton of decorating. All right, so this is not fully in frame, so sorry about that. But this is the cutout that the picture frame just came with. And I'm just tracing this on some brown cardstock that had been sent to me from HTV Ront. And we're just going to cut that out. And I'm going for very, very neutral in most of these DIYs. And we're going to just use a glue stick to glue this paper on. Once again, sorry if you can hear, like we have a severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado watch going on right now, but I'm trying to get this video finished up. So I don't know if you can hear the winds like crazy right now, but it's going a little nuts. Okay, so we've got our background here of just that neutral cardstock. And then I have this ribbon. I picked this up from Dollar Tree Plus section last year after Christmas when it was marked down. So it's just burlap ribbon. And yeah, I'm just gonna cut it down a little bit thinner. I'm just trying to decide the length of, or the width of it, because I'm going to put a little wooden heart on top, which is also from the Dollar Tree. So we've got some Dollar Tree DIYs for you, but you can use items. Hobby Lobby has a lot of similar stuff, just wherever you can find it. And once I get it down to the width that I want, I'm going to just, I want it a little bit bigger than my wooden heart. Once I had it where I wanted it, sorry, I'm getting distracted. The winds are going nuts. I'm pulling out some threads to fray the ribbon. I'm so sorry, guys. Oh, see, even in the recording, this was yesterday, and the lights flashed yesterday too, and I think you could just see that in the picture. Okay, so once I have it where I want it, we're going to flip it over, and I'm just gonna use some hot glue on the back side. This floral pattern was actually from the first time I DIY'd this frame, but I a lot of times redo stuff, not because I don't like my DIYs, but because I make so much stuff for my videos I can't possibly use it all, so I just like to take them apart and reuse them. Now, I do typically like my projects finished, so you could put maybe another layer of cardstock on the back here to cover all of that up, but because I do plan to probably take this apart and redo it again, I didn't worry about it. And we're just gonna put that back in, and then I'm just gonna hot glue our wooden heart. I have these hearts. I believe they're from Hobby Lobby, or from Dollar Tree, but Hobby Lobby has them also. And then I was like, I don't really like the shape of that one as much, so I used this one, which was more similar in shape. Plus, it was painted white on the front, but you could also put a red one or a pink one here as well, and it just adds a fun little, I don't know, fun little piece. So there it is, and I just put the little kickstand peg in the back of the frame, and it stands up great. For this next DIY, I have this black sign that I got from my friend Kendra when we did a little craft exchange. And I've actually already DIY'd with it. Once again, I'm redoing it. And I'm mixing a brown and beige color that I have Just trying to use up a lot of the paints that I have. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm saying a lot more than normal. The lights are literally flashing while I'm doing this voiceover. I'm like, am I gonna be able to get this up tonight? Anyways, we are just gonna give this a coat of this paint. I'm gonna actually give it 2 coats, just making sure it's thoroughly dried in between, trying to minimize brush strokes and all of that. So we're gonna just give this, I didn't want it as neutral or as dark, I guess, as the black, but I still wanted to go with more neutral colors here. And here it is all done. And then I have this piece here. I don't know if this may have also come from my friend Kendra, or I may have gotten it at the thrift store. I don't know. But just wanted to give you some ideas of just the ways that you can very simply incorporate things. I'm using some hot glue. I actually took a couple times to do this. With items like this that are this bulky and stiff, it just kind of wanted to bounce up. I needed to just really hold it firm for like a minute while the hot glue really just settled and dried. But once I did that, it worked fine, no problems at all. And I thought this would be a really pretty piece just to kind of layer with some other things in front of it. And I hope that you like it as well. For this next DIY, Kendra is the name of this video. She sent this little cutting board to me as well. We did a Craft My Stash back in July. We did a Christmas in July video. And she sent me so many items. I'm still using some. So this cute little piece, I'm giving us a couple coats of white paint. I'm going to paint the top, and I end up doing the sides and the back. Well, I got some paint there, so I was like, okay, let's just paint the whole thing, you know? It's not really a mistake. Now for this next piece, or next part of it rather, I thought I was recording, and I wasn't. But this is a very simple, like tiered tray piece. And I just layered on some wooden hearts that I had. I was just showing you all the different ones that were in the pack. And I used some hot glue to attach the natural wood, and then topped it with the red heart. And then I wanted to, the cutting board had a little hole at the top, a painted on hole. So I wanted to add that again to make it look more like a cutting board. And I just used a fine tip permanent marker. And then I'm just using some red and white jute twine. And I'm going to tie a very simple bow at the top here. I'm going to take a break here for a second and go take a look because I can't hardly see anything outside. So yeah, hope y'all are safe wherever you are with whatever storms you might be getting. Okay, so I just put a little dab of hot glue to help keep the bow in place. And this is going to look really cute layered with other stuff on my tiered tray. It doesn't have to all be Valentine stuff. You can just throw 1 or 2 items mixed in with everything else. All right, so I know that was no time at all for you, but I just took a break. Our rocking chair out front has blown over, but it seems to be in a more stable position now, so we're just going to leave it for now. Anyways, this DIY is a super simple one. Is it even a DIY? I don't know, but this is Metal House from the Dollar Tree, and I had this cute sparkly sticker, and I just popped it right on there, and I can take this off when Valentine's is over. But I thought this was really cute. You could also use hot glue, and then that would come off the metal pretty easy if you wanted to change it up, but I just thought I'd share this with you, even though it's hardly a DIY. For this next one, I have a wreath form from the Dollar Tree. It comes in a 2-pack, I believe. That size one does. And I'm going to use some burlap ribbon, which is also from the Dollar Tree. Use some finger protectors here so you don't hurt yourself. And I'm just going to hot glue that in the back, and we're going to wrap this around. I think you could do this whole thing, pretty confident you could do this whole thing with 1 spool of the burlap ribbon, but this was a used roll, so I had to use a second one. But that was only because it wasn't a complete one. And then it looked like they were actually 2, like the shades were slightly different. I guess that can happen with batch numbers. You know, different batches aren't exactly the same, but you're not gonna be able to see it all in the end anyway. We're just giving ourselves a base to attach everything to. So we're just gonna wrap that around. I just kind of tried to make sure it was like similarly spaced out the whole way around. And then we're gonna use more hot glue to attach it. So I only did it at the beginning and end pieces. I didn't have to do hot glue the whole way around. I just wrapped it nice and tight. And then I dug through my stash. Let's get there. Okay, so I have this thing. I don't know what this was. This was from Hobby Lobby. It had pumpkins on it, and it was all like falling apart. It was on clearance for $1. And as you can see, I've already used some of the stuff from it. So we're just going to clip off some pieces of lamb's ear. I think lamb's ear is a really cool like transitional flower. I think or not flower, but floral, I guess you could say. It's great in I think any time of year, but it's kind of soft and almost looks frosted if you want it to look frosted. So I don't know. I think it's great kind of transition piece. And we're just going to lay down. Once again, you need to really hold it down while it dries. Otherwise, it just bounces back up. I have the little finger protectors, and then I was showing you also the little silicone spatula piece there, the orange thing that is in the makeup department at the Dollar Tree, but that's also another useful tool for hot glue. And I just kind of went until I had all of the pieces looking the way I wanted it to. And then I was showing you a couple options, those burlap, what are they called? Flower stickers from the Dollar Tree. But then I had these, they're called fabric roses. They're also burlap. And these come in a 4-pack from the Dollar Tree. And the one accidentally came off the wire, and I was going to put it back on. I was like, no, actually, this is easier without the wire. So I was deciding 3 or 4. 3 just looks better. Then I was like, no, I need another leaf, another little set of leaves. Just, go till you like it. I don't do a lot of wreaths, but every once in a while I get inspired to do one. So I'm going to glue them together and then a whole bunch of glue on the bottom and just kind of stick that in the center to cover up all of the spaces where they met. And again, this is like a little Valentine-y, but not over the top. And then I have this love word piece that I think I might have got at the thrift store, but I've seen these in different shapes and sizes at Dollar Tree, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, any craft store. And I'm just putting some hot glue on the spots that I know it will have contact with the wreath, and just scraping off any little extra glue. And this is holding really, really well. This is a nice small wreath, would be cute on like a closet door or like a wreath, like a pegboard type, not pegboard, like hooks, decorative hooks. Anyways, for our hanger piece, we're going to use this wire jute twine. Now, when you cut this jute twine from the Dollar Tree, the twine comes unraveled from the wire. So I'm just using some finger protectors and some hot glue to kind of like reattach it. And I'm going to use a good amount of hot glue here, and I'm just kind of holding it in place. I did this for like a while. Like, I'm not showing you all of it. I did that for a couple minutes. And then I decided to put a little bit more and then cover it up with a piece of ribbon just to really make sure it's on there, and also to make sure nothing can scratch my wall. And we're going to do that, of course, to both sides. So for the final shot, the lighting was horrible because of the storms that we were getting. So I did show it to you hung up on some hooks, but the lighting wasn't good and there was a lot of shadowing. So I just gave you this shot too, just with a white background so you could see how it came out. And I really was happy with this piece. For this next one, I wanted to make some little hearts. You could put them in a bowl or tuck them into a tiered tray, however you want to use them. But I just didn't have a heart the size I wanted it to trace out. So I just did the old grade school method where you cut it in half, fold the paper in half and cut out half of a heart. And then it's totally symmetrical. And then I just trimmed that up to get it to the shape that I wanted. And then we're going to trace this onto a piece of cardboard, but I didn't want to just fold the cardboard in half. So that's why I did it on the paper first to use as my template. This piece of cardboard, I'm pretty sure, is from a calendar from the Dollar Tree that I've used for DIYs, and I just have the cardboard. It's not the sturdiest cardboard, but it worked, and it will get more sturdy with what we're going to do with it. You could also just use like an empty tissue box, a cereal box, whatever. And then I'm just showing you the different twine that I had on hand. I decided to go with the white, and I'm also going to do gray, but you could easily use yarn or twine, whatever you have, and any colors. You could do a whole mixture of colors. This would be really pretty to do like a red, white, pink, purple, like all different colors, or like pastels, kind of like conversation hearts colors would be really pretty. But you're just going to wrap this around until you cover all the spots. So twist and turn. And I ended up putting my spool of twine on. I have like a caddy in front of me while I'm crafting that has a bunch of little tools. In there is a lighter. So I stuck it over the top of the lighter. And that just allowed me to keep pulling on it. And that worked great. And then at the end, I just trimmed it down and put a tiny bit of hot glue. You can't even see it there. This is a super simple DIY. Once again, does this count as a DIY? It does, because you did it yourself. So I would just recommend when doing this to remember, first of all, that the heart doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to be wrapping it with stuff. And this is way sped up, but I'm doing a gray one here. Make sure that you flip it back and forth to the back side to make sure that all of the cardboard pieces are in fact covered, and on both sides ideally. And I kind of just did every which way, and then at some point I started focusing, making sure I was covering up any spots that were still showing. And yeah, I ended up doing 3 of these all together. I did 2 white and 1 gray. Again, I'm going for a little bit more of a neutral vibe, but you can do whatever you want here. I tucked mine in a little bowl with some pine cones. I love pine cones still for like the winter time, so I thought that was cute, but you could do a whole bowl just of the hearts or just tuck them into your decor. But I love how these came out. For this last one, this is just another little decorating idea. I'm just taking a candle and some jute twine. I have this beige and white twine. And this one I decided, I wasn't sure at first how I wanted to do it, but then I decided I wanted it to be a more neatly wrapped thing, whereas like the hearts were just every which way, which you kind of have to do on the hearts. But I do like that look on other things. But this one I decided to do nice and straight, and I didn't do any hot glue because this is a real candle. And I didn't, well, I mean, I guess you still could use some hot glue on it, but I want to be able to take this off when I don't want to use it this way. So I just tucked the string in and wrapped around on top of it. I finally got into a good groove of turning and wrapping. In the beginning, I felt like it was very awkward and it was taking forever. But we're just going to go until I have the width that I want. You can cover as much of the candle as you want. Now, I won't be lighting this candle. I would do that with caution if you're going to have the twine on there, because obviously if it burnt down could really become a problem. But you could also do this with artificial candles. I have lots of flameless candles, but I just decided to use this one. And again, I'm going to use another wooden heart. So you can decide how big you want it, like above and below your heart. I had mine a little bit smaller. You could also use one of these burlap flowers as well. And I just hot glued that on. And that is it for this one. Just a cute little change up of the candle. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for today's video. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And also, if you're new, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. If you are subscribed, please make sure your notification bell is turned on. That helps to make sure that YouTube actually lets you know when I post a video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.